Let's take a look at the future of Crestron and our industry with a presentation by Ranjan Singh, Executive VP of Product and Technology. It's the perfect opportunity to get the information you need to stay ahead of the curve. Our team of experts will provide insight into where Crestron's investing its R&D resources, both now and moving forward. We'll discuss how we can work together to grow our businesses and the industry. We'll look at key dynamics driving our industry, how technology is unfolding, and where we see it going in 2020 and beyond.
Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Crestron Next 2020 Consultant Summit. My name is Ranjan Singh. I'm Executive Vice President of Product and Technology. I've been at Crestron for just over 12 months, so I'm relatively new to the industry as well. I wanted to start off by talking about how your expertise is needed by our end customers more than ever before. With the convergence of AV and IT, there's a plethora of choices, requirements, and the scale of operations that's needed, and your insights and input are needed more than ever before. I want to start off by talking a little bit about innovation and the opportunities for innovation in the marketplace based on my observations and experience. The definition of innovation is to bring a new idea, method, or device into the market. It's introduction of something new. Crestron has had a 40-year history of delivering innovation and 10x improvement in the marketplace. But my focus today is the other definition of innovation, the incremental innovation in the application of better solutions that meet the unarticulated needs or existing market needs. This is where we are today, and I want to talk to you about 5 things that present an opportunity for innovation in our industry. What are the 5 things? It's end user experience and workflows. The modern workplace experiences an expected value. The technology investments and the ROI that our customers will expect as they expand the use of technology in their environment. Automation. How do you scale? How do you deploy all of this technology at scale in thousands of rooms or thousands of lecture halls? You have to bring automation, and automation is delivered through APIs. Service models, same problem. Scalable operations, and the customer's pane of glass. With this technology from so many vendors, how do we enable the service models that our customers expect? And lastly, the commercial models. What model delivers the best TCO for our customers? These are the 5 opportunities for innovation in industry that I'm going to walk you through today. And of course, in the world of COVID-19 today, and hopefully a post-COVID-19, we have to think about the impact it has on the marketplace and our industry. We are thinking 3 key elements here. Remote working has been reshaped. The notion is work from anywhere. Some statistics show that 25% of the 25 to 30% of the workforce may not come back. Social distancing and worker safety is an absolute must. When you enter the building, you have to think in terms of cleaning technology, touchless interfaces, information and data that makes you comfortable in the workplace. And lastly, on a much longer term, companies are thinking about their real estate portfolios and align it to their new demands. All of these present opportunity for innovation in our industry. So let's start with end user experience and workflows. The modern workplace experiences an expected value. You and us and our competitors and other folks in the industry have been delivering this experience to the customers in select spaces, boardrooms, divisible spaces, university lecture halls, and such. But today, that same experience is expected by employees wherever they go, from the time they enter the building to the time they go into the office or the cubicle and the time they go into the meeting room. The example I like to give is that I have never dialed a conference bridge in my 12 months at Crestron. That is an expected value. That experience is not available to everybody, but it is expected now. The other thing I want to highlight is customers are having to make choices as to which collaboration platform to use. You can have Teams, Zoom, Google Meet, Cisco, BlueJeans, or some proprietary element. The more platforms that are deployed by a company, the lesser the collaboration experience. Effectively, it's inversely proportional. So that's something we have to keep in mind when we think about delivering the end user experience and workflows that are expected. The second thing to think about is technology investments. Customers make investments in technology with a long-term view. They have a desire going forward to have open systems. They need migration paths, not forklift upgrades. They need to be able to move from the world of digital media to the world of AV over IP, which could be considered a disruptive technology. But they don't want to roll out their entire infrastructure to AV over IP. They would like to make incremental improvements. They would like to upgrade the technology so they can maximize the return on investment on the technology investments they are making. These force us to think in terms of migration, not forklift upgrades. The next thing is automation. When we are trying to bring this technology to the marketplace for our customers who now want to bring this modern workplace experience to every employee, which means every room, every hallway, every building should have the kind of experience that previously was reserved for a select rooms. What does that mean? It means zero-touch deployments, as opposed to folks going into individual rooms and offices and deploying technology. It entails automation of manual tasks. How do you monitor, manage, and operate 5,000 to 7,000 meeting rooms worldwide? How do you add and remove resources? How do you give permissioning into all that technology, sitting in perhaps some central location? Reporting and data mining is key. You need to extract data automatically and create insights from it to inform the decisions that you'll make. This is what customers are expecting. This is the opportunity for incremental innovation. Service models, scalable operations are an absolute must. Remote operations and recovery are a must. Technology does stop working. You have to ensure that your 5,000 to 7,000 meeting rooms are operational every morning, during the day, or at the end of the day. Displays are turned on and off automatically. All of this technology, which previously perhaps was managed by a select few people dedicated to managing rooms, now have to scale across 5,000, 10,000 rooms. They have to have their own pane of glass as well. Service tickets that are opened need to flow into their existing tools. And the customers must have their own pane of glass, not necessarily the vendors. If there are 5 technology vendors, everyone cannot have their own source of service model recovery. It all has to integrate into the customer's workflow. This is also an opportunity for improvement and innovation. The next is commercial models. Historically, the commercial model has been around CapEx and maintenance and in-house support. But with the convergence of AV and IT in the industry, new paradigms are being expected. The outsource installation model provide and support. The outsourcing of technology and know-how, which is effectively translates to a fully outsourced managed service, or the one that we all are experiencing on a day-to-day basis with the innovation from Zoom and Microsoft and others, which is the subscription model and as-a-service model. Sometimes customers know that the life cycle of the technology they're deploying is only 3 to 4 years. They would much rather pursue a subscription model, have the latest technology on hand. We also have to think about the iceberg principle in articulating the value of the commercial model. What will drive their total cost of ownership is dependent on their AV expertise in-house, their IT expertise in-house. As you know, there is a purchase price of the equipment, but there's a lot of hidden costs around managing, maintaining, and operating it, particularly at scale. These are the areas where we need your help, and our customers, our joint customers, need your help in helping them understand what is the best commercial model. So now that we've talked about the 5 areas that present opportunities for incremental innovation in industry, I'd like to talk a little bit about how Crestron is enabling these opportunities, how we can help you help our customer base. The first is around end user experience and workflow. We want to deliver the expected value. So what are we doing in that space? End user experience, especially in the post-COVID-19 world, we expect touchless room control. There are many ways in which you can achieve touchless. You can have voice-based, voice-enabled, you can have gesture control, but the one that we're most comfortable with is really our mobile phone. So what we are doing is looking to enable all of the technology in the building or in a space enabled on your mobile phone. We are adding room control. We are adding room scheduling, wayfinding, which is very critical, a wireless presentation and controls so that you can just walk into and start a presentation. And most importantly is the customization of information. What makes somebody comfortable in a building is to know, is the company within the regulations? Is it 25% of the employee base in the building? How many people are in the building? How many people have left the building? How many people are in a particular meeting room or hallways? In this post-COVID-19 world, we would like to know that a meeting is properly being managed and socially distanced. All of this information can be delivered in a simple mobile application. And the most important part is that the customers can use all of their existing room technology with this mobile application. They don't have to change or do anything with all of their technology. So this is essentially walk into a customer, you download the mobile app, and you can have all of this end user experience and workflow that we are enabling. So what's also different about this mobile application is we didn't just go out there and launch a mobile application like a bunch of others have done so today. We had to think about the end user workflow. We had to think about the IT and deployment model. We're using technologies to connect to the room that ensure that it's a secure experience. As an example, using Bluetooth to connect to the room that is closest. So you can specifically manage that room as opposed to a Wi-Fi experience on a web page where you walk away and you could still be controlling the room, which is not a secure experience. So we have thought about all of these things to ensure not only do our customers get the best experience, they get the most secure experience and one that fits into their workflow. The second element around the expected value is what do employees expect when they join a meeting or walk into a meeting? All of the things that the technology should essentially disappear from the room. If they walk into a meeting, they shouldn't have to remember to bring their USB-C charger or their USB dongle. They should be able to take advantage of automated room cancellations if somebody is not using the meeting room. The elusive experience around whiteboarding, right? So you want to be able to go in front of the display and be able to do gesture control and have it reflected into any remote participants. You should be able to join any meetings using any UC solution. Yes, the environment could be dominated by Teams or Zoom, but we all know that we have to join meetings using the technology that's not predominantly in our meeting room. So we have to be able to walk it and enable what we call the BYOD experience. And lastly, room control being embedded natively in the UC solution. This is another thing that you don't want your employees or your students, as the case may be, to have to use a different user interface in order to manage a room or experience a room. So we are looking at ways where we can embed the technology natively in the UC solution. We've already done this with our page flip, with our Flex solution line. We are trying to take it to the next level. The thing we are doing in order to enable end user experience and workflows is enable the standardization of rooms. I talked about the opportunity of bringing this technology and experience at a mass scale. How do you do that without standardization? In order to enable that standardization, we have a choice of devices that the users can use to control the rooms or join the meetings. We have specific solutions, standardized Flex kits that we are selling. And with the combination of those two, we can deliver the room experience for any type of room. The key to standardization is also a consistent experience. No matter where an individual is in a workplace or a university environment, they want that consistent experience. And we are able to deliver that with native support for Skype and Teams and Zoom rooms and BYOD conferencing. We're able to ensure that there is a consistent user experience from the desktop to the boardroom, no matter which device you use. Obviously, exceptional audio and video quality is a must. The other important aspect of delivering a standard experience is remote manageability and remote operation. Our XIO cloud-based Azure platform gives you the ability to deliver a standard room, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it. And then we talked about those little elements that we have been delivering in other rooms, switching video and adjusting the audio, shades, lighting, changing the temperature. If a customer desires to bring this experience into all of their rooms, we have the ability, we have the history of doing this for 40 years, and we have incorporated that into the experience we have built with our UC kits. So these are the ways in which Crestron is enabling the end user experience and workflows. We want technology to disappear. We want to make it easy for our customers to bring this experience to their rooms. The next thing I'd like to talk about is technology investments. and how technology investments that the customers make, they expect an increasing ROI. So we are doing a number of things on this front, 4 key things actually. The first is delivering products to the price value curve. We will have a plethora of options for our customers in the good, better, best model with NVX, with HDMI Essentials, with DM Lite extenders, bringing USB-C connectivity across our entire lineup. And you will be able to advise our customers to take advantage of the right product at the right price, delivering the value that they expect. The second thing, which Crestron already has a rich history, is continuous delivery of value. Our products get better over time. NVX today is better than it was 2 years ago with pixel perfect technology. And look at all these other features that we are delivering on a quarterly basis. We keep delivering NVX firmware updates. This is a customer purchasing devices and continuously expecting delivery of value. This is how the products from Crestron increase the ROI. The standards and open-based systems also is something that Crestron does with every one of its products. If you can see all of the logos there, that's the domain of our digital media and NVX products. Everything we do is standards-based. Everything we do enables an open system with our very rich set of APIs. It's probably Crestron's best kept secret that all of our products have a rich set of APIs enabling the scale and automation that I'm going to talk about next. And lastly, the migration path. We are bringing products to the market that bridge technologies, the ones that are already deployed to new ones, such as HDBT to DMNVX bridge. We are also enabling migration paths by building software endpoints for NVX. This is how customers can deploy incremental technology as and when they are ready to adopt it. All of these factors together is how we are delivering incremental and increasing ROI over time to our customers. The next is automation via APIs. And I'm going to walk you through a few examples where Crestron is making these incremental investments. The first is simply designing the room. We have been designing rooms with control systems. We now have a virtual control system. This can bring standardization at a mass scale between XIO Cloud and virtual control systems, where you can literally design your room in advance and roll it out. You can customize the room with our AV framework with CH5 extensions. You can automate the IP-based workflows with AV framework again with DMNVX switcher. So, and on top of that, we have APIs on every device that enables you to bring any kind of automation with configuration or management that you would like to bring to a room, and then you're able to roll it out. The next element of automation is deployment of the room. Through our XIO Cloud, you can create room groups, you can configure and create templates, and you can do the enrollment integration into any Active Directory systems for authorization. And then you can activate the rooms and the devices remotely and roll them out. Once again, automation and scale will bring scalable operations for our customer base. And this is some of the work that Crestron is doing. Lastly, manage and operating the room. As I mentioned before, we have a large scale of rooms that need to be managed and operated remotely. XIO Cloud and our device APIs enable aggregation of data. We enable high availability and disaster recovery with our VC4 virtual control software that can be deployed in the cloud rather than having dedicated control systems. Every one of Crestron's devices is essentially a sensor that is rolled out in the building. There's data being generated from the sensors being pushed to the cloud. That can generate insights for the IT and operations people managing these large environments and making decisions accordingly. Next, I'd like to talk about service models and the evolution of Crestron Cloud Services in enabling these service models. As you know, when you deploy technology at scale, you have to have the service and support to go along with it. How do you manage thousands of rooms that I've mentioned repeatedly and be able to go and pinpoint whether a particular room is up or down? If it is down, how do you remotely recover it? How do you collect logs? This is all of the value that XIO Cloud is delivering today. We have come a long way in delivering functionality within XIO Cloud, and I can say in the last 3 months, we've been delivering functionality practically every 2 weeks. We have also changed the models, which I'm going to talk about. We have divided XIO Cloud services to suit the IT and operations people. The services that an IT person may need are different than the services that an operations person will need. Endpoint management is an example. Managing individual templates, room design, bulk template configuration, and firmware uploads are something that perhaps an AV person is needing. And from a support standpoint, you have your network operations center monitoring the environment, and they need device status, intelligent alerting, the ability to remotely control and manage a room and look to see what may possibly be going wrong, and of course to have dashboards and log collection. Then from an integrator standpoint, we need portals. We need portals for end customers, and we need an integrator portal to enable our direct customers, which is the dealers and integrators, to be able to deliver these services to our end customers. They need to have a portal that provides them a view of all of their customers in case they are managing the environment on the customer's behalf. Then there is integration. We talk about open systems. It's not sufficient for XIO Cloud to be the dashboard. We need to be able to extract information and integrate into ServiceNow or Remedy or other solutions that may be there for ticketing and incident management. We also have API gateway for third parties and end users. What does that mean? Not all of the technology deployed in a room or a building is Crestron. So we are building an API gateway that will effectively ensure that through XIO Cloud, they can manage and monitor and operate all of the room technology, not just Crestron technology. And lastly, just to enable the service models and delivering software as a service or product as a service, we are thinking about virtual control. We already have VC4 available as a virtual environment. If our customers have a need, we can deploy that in our cloud and make VC4 available as a service. AI-based space optimization. We have plenty of data being collected, but we need to generate the insights for intelligent decision-making, and again, have them available as an API. And a very simple service, which is daily health check. You can just go and ping every room, make sure every piece of technology, whether it's audio, video, display, you can not only check its status, but make sure it's operational. These are some new services that Crestron is looking to roll out to enable our end customers as well as our dealers and integrators to be able to deliver these services. Commercial models. So we talk about evolution of Crestron subscription services. When I started out, I said there is an opportunity in the marketplace for subscription services and managed services. Well, Crestron is doing three things to enable both our dealers and integrators to be able to deliver these services to the customer, or for end user, potentially end customer, to consume these services directly from Crestron. The first is the XIO Cloud model. We've changed the commercial model to dollars per room per month. And we have divisible services. So rather than just purchasing one service, you can purchase the service that you want. There is a monthly subscription and billing, no long-term commitments. And you can optimize your license and use model and pay for the services you use. A very key change that we brought about in July of 2020 is we went from charging about $8 per device to $8 per room with unlimited devices. That is phenomenal value that Crestron is now delivering via XIO Cloud. The second is the Crestron mobile application that I've talked about for the touchless environment. That also has a subscription model. And lastly, Virtual Control VC4 is available as both a subscription model or a CapEx purchase with maintenance. So Crestron is bringing all these commercial models so that you can advise your customers on the right commercial model that delivers the TCO for them. The second, which is equally important, we have simplified the quote-to-cash experience. It should be easy for our dealers, integrators to consume these services, to purchase these services. And I know it hasn't been a frictionless experience. We are making a lot of improvements on this front. The first one we rolled out already is a trial for XIO Cloud. The end customer can trial XIO Cloud and experience the service for 30 days without necessarily having to interact with Crestron or the dealer. They can go and try out this service. Just go to our website, register, and just try it out. Equally importantly, the dealer or integrator can enable that trial on behalf of the end user in order to sell their managed services or sell the subscription services to the customer. And we are bringing online billing and online payment systems Some of these things already exist at Crestron. We are incorporating XIO Cloud. So we are looking to simplify the quote-to-cash experience to deliver the as-a-service model that is so prevalent in the rest of the industries around. And lastly, enabling managed services. So if our dealers and integrators are delivering managed services to the end customer, they need an SLA with Crestron as well. So we are creating different models to enable dealers and integrators to deliver these SLAs to our end customers. We already have True Blue support, which is the basic service, but we are now offering standard and premium services that can give you a specific SLA, 3 nines, 4 nines, on-site services, and those kinds of things that our customers will expect in a managed service offering. So I talked about 3 things: the change in the commercial model, the simplification of the quote-to-cash experience, and the enablement of managed service offering with an SLA. This is how Crestron is enabling you to advise your customers on what's available from Crestron and its customers, which is the dealers and integrators. So in summary, I started by talking about the opportunities for incremental innovation to address both unarticulated and existing market reads. With the convergence of AV and IT, your expertise is needed more than ever before because there is a lot of choices in the marketplace, and you have to help our customers discern those choices and determine what is the right models for them in order to deliver the end user experience that is expected in a modern workplace, technology investments that deliver the increased ROI that I talked about, automation in order to scale operations, service models that fit within the customer's processes and tool sets, and lastly, the commercial models that deliver the best TCO for the customer. Of course, all of this requires execution, and Crestron is committed to bringing this incremental innovation to the marketplace and continuously delivering value and products to our customer base. I'd like to thank you. I hope you've had a great Crestron Next 2020. I hope to hear from you. I'd be interested in learning more about this industry. My email address is ranjan.singh@crestron.com, and hopefully we'll get to meet in person. Thank you again.